Calling Skyrim a large game would be an understatement. It's positively massive, not only in scale, but more importantly, in the choices that are given to us. But being as large of a game as Skyrim is, it can sometimes be a double-edged sword. Although there are so many things that you can do, only a fraction of them are well known. So, in today's video, I hope to fix that by showing you 10 things that you probably didn't know you could do in Skyrim. Number 1. Remove souls from soul gems. I'm sure we've all been there. One day, we're out exploring the wilds of Skyrim, minding our own business, when suddenly, a mud crab jumps out of nowhere and begins to attack us. So we kill it, but not without realizing that we captured its puny soul into a grand soul gem, having it go to waste in the process. Or so you thought. Bethesda probably knew that players were going to run into an issue like this, so they added a sneaky way to remove souls from soul gems. Simply drop the soul gem onto the ground and pick it up again. Once you pick it up, you'll find that the soul will be removed from the gem and it will be empty. Number 2. Instantly mark your objective. Skyrim is a big game with a big map to boot, so I wouldn't hold it against you if you've spent a little more time than you'd like to admit searching for your quest marker on the map. This minor frustration can turn into a bloody nightmare when you end up having hundreds of landmarks on the map, making the quest marker damn near impossible to locate. But something which and I assume many other people weren't aware of, is that you can instantly see where your quest marker is on the map. Simply head to your journal and press the X or square button on consoles or the M button on PC. You should be instantly taken directly to the world map and see exactly where the quest marker lies. Now, the only mystery is how in the hell I never found out about this. I mean, it has a prompt for it and everything. Nevertheless, this is sure to save you valuable time in the future. Number 3. You can cause riots. Most secrets in the game are typically scripted events or Easter eggs that were meant to be found. But this one is no Easter egg, but rather a full-blown game mechanic that's been lost to time. If you're looking to cause a well-placed distraction, or just cause a little bit of mischief, then you'll be surprised to hear that you can cause a massive brawl against citizens without the use of a frenzy potion. All you have to do is throw a valuable item or two onto the ground and wait as the chaos ensues and people begin to beat the ever-living shit out of each other. Number 4. Befriend the Thalmor. Despite the Thalmor making for some of the best target practice in the game, some maniacs at Bethesda thought that some players may want to join the Aldmeri Dominion. I'm not saying those people don't exist, but why you would want to cater to such psychos is beyond me. Nevertheless, these Thalmor bootlickers had their way. Although you cannot exactly join the Thalmor, you can certainly become an ally to them. Inside Markath's Understone Keep, you'll find a Thalmor agent known as Ondolmar. Like all other Justicars, his goal is to root out all Talos worship inside Markath's walls, and if you've lost all self-respect, then you can give Ondolmar a helping hand with fishing out a suspected Talos worshipper within the city. After retrieving the amulet and returning it back to Ondolmar, he'll quickly gossip to all his friends and make you an ally of the Thalmor the following day. I guess news spreads quickly within the Thalmor. Not only does this have Thalmor agents give you warm regards whenever you come across them on your travels, but you're now free to take whatever valuables you desire from their headquarters and even sleep in their beds. Number 5. Easy hunting. Hunting deer in Skyrim is like trying to talk to girls. Whenever you try to hit it, they just run away from you. The entire ordeal can be summed up as you shooting an arrow at a deer, missing, and then chasing the thing across the map just to kill it. But what if I told you there was an easier way of going about this? Although the courage spell was intended to be used on companions first and foremost, nothing's stopping you from casting it on enemies and creatures too. Since the spell prevents the target from fleeing, it can be extremely useful on your next hunting trip, as the creatures will try to go toe-to-toe with your Dragonborn rather than sprinting to the other side of the map after a gust of wind hits them. Number 6. Disguised as a Thalmor. Diplomatic immunity is easily the most well-developed quest in the game, thanks to the unprecedented amount of choices and details that are on offer. One of the lesser-known choices is how you can disguise yourself as a Thalmor agent and blend in, with the other Aldmeri being none the wiser. Not only will this let you freely roam around the embassy without having to rely on a competent stealth build or leaving the grounds looking like the Red Wedding, but it will also give you access to exclusive dialogue and events that you cannot come across any other way. But this option isn't available for everyone, You'll first need to find a disguise within the embassy, and you're certainly not going to get away with it if you're playing as an Argonian. You can only be a high elf for the disguise to work. But as long as you meet those requirements, nobody will ever notice you, and you can complete the quest flawlessly. Number 7. Kill Gissa early. While on the topic of diplomatic immunity, I feel it would be hard-pressed to not mention Gissa and how you can prevent him from ambushing you later in the game. Gissa is a Nord beggar and overall degenerate who sold his soul to the Thalmor to be an informant for the Aldmeri Dominion. During diplomatic immunity, Gissa can be overheard arguing with Rullindil about his worth to the Thalmor. Later on in the main questline, you'll find out that his worth is pretty valuable after all, as he leads a group of Justicars right into Esbern's doorstep. But if you're looking to power your way through the questline and not have any unnecessary bloodshed, then you can prevent the Thalmor from ever finding Esbern's location. All you have to do is kill Gissa when you find him in the embassy. As a result, the Thalmor won't have any information to go on, making it impossible for them to travel to the Ratway and find Esbern's location. Number 8. Throw spiders at enemies. Although there are many evil things you can do in Skyrim, nothing is quite as cruel as throwing weaponized spiders at enemies. Despite these 8-legged monstrosities typically being found on the pointy end of your sword, you can turn them into little companions who will terrify any enemy they come across. All you have to do is head to White Ridge Barrow in Solstheim and find the imbuing chamber inside. This unique crafting station will let you combine albino spider pod with gems to create an elementally charged spider. For example, combining a spider pod with a ruby will make a fire spider. If it's mixed with a sapphire, then it'll turn into a frost spider, and so on. What you have as a result is a hand grenade from hell that will blow your enemies to bits if they don't first die from a heart attack after seeing 6 flaming spiders charge at them. Number 9. Get free training. Making money in the early game can be a bit of a struggle, especially if you're spending all your hard-earned gold on trainers. But what if I told you that there was a way to get training completely for free? There are several companions that you can come across who also happen to train a specific skill, and although you have to pay for their service like all other trainers, you can simply trade back the gold you paid them for. This essentially lets you level up a skill tree and get XP free of charge. And finally, number 10. Get a pet mud crab. Skyrim is all about being immersed in a second life that lets you do things you cannot do in real life, like cast spells, slay dragons, and talk to women. One of the cornerstones for many people's playthroughs is to have a lovable pet by their side. But if you don't take a liking to the more furry companions in Skyrim, then you'll be out of luck in finding a suitable virtual pet for your virtual home. Although the Hearthfire expansion is known for giving players the chance to build their own homestead, being able to adopt children provides a lot more entertaining scenarios. One of the more standout examples of this is how your adopted son can bring home a live mud crab. And before you can even be proud that your boy is learning to fend for himself, you learn that he wants to keep the thing as a pet rather than as food. If you decide to keep the mud crab, then it'll become your son's new pet, and you can either find it relaxing in your son's bedroom or following him around the house. And as disappointed as you may be at your son, you can't deny that the mud crab has a pretty adorable face.
Subscribe to Fall Damage, you milk drinker.